So what we did in the previous class, we did this. See, in case if Sanya don't join now, then you can continue from here itself. Okay.
Okay, in India.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, what over here after this, what we did, that these were the two things we completed. From here we completed. See, in every country we have different institutions, right? So in India itself we have different institutions. Like for education we have different institutions like National Council of Education Research and Training, right? University Grants Commission (UCG) and All India Council of Development Education. These are the three, you can say, institution or organization or department for education in India. Okay. And coming to health sector, you have one organization or you can say department for this, Indian Council for Medical Research. Clear? So this is one for that. So you can write it down. You will write hashtag education department or organization in India. Then the first one is this National Council. Second one is your university. And third one is your All India Council. Clear?
Okay, these are for educations
Yeah, these are
and
for
one for
education.
health
Yes.
in India.
Yes.
Okay. Can you slow down?
Good evening, Sana.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, Halima done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so after this, what we did education sector in India. Like, I'm just giving a recap. Okay, Sana, you can just listen to it. Okay, then we'll start with the next topic. Okay. So
Okay.
education sector in India we did. So first thing is that, ma'am, what is education? So education is basically the process of learning all the three levels like primary, secondary, higher education and all that. That comes under education. Okay. Now the next thing is that what are the importance of education? So sometimes they can give you the direct question, what are the importance of education? Or they can give you the question like there are very less chances they'll be asking you straightforward because you people are in 12th class now. So they will be asking you like this, like tell us like how it like why government should invest in education sector. So at that time we will write the importance of the education sector, that it helps in developing necessary skills, it provide knowledge and understand the change in society, it helps in mental horizon, that it helps in greater participation. This is what. Okay, so this is how they can ask you the question. And after that we did growth in government expenditure on education sector. So basically what is happening in India, that government is spending more in education sector. Okay, so there are two phases how government can contribute. First, as the percentage of total expenditure, like whatever I am spending, and second is gross domestic product. Okay, and next is there are 2 points. One is government right to education act, which government of India like bought, and that means that it was a fundamental right that the students who are in between 6 to 14, they have right to education, they'll get education, free education. Then second is government bought this education cess fund, which means that whatever tax you are paying, 2% of your tax will be going to the education for the betterment, right? And after that we did education achievement in India. So basically if you want to know the achievement, right, you should focus on adult literacy rate, primary education completion rate and youth literacy rate. So this is the table, right? And after that, what we got to know, ma'am, what is adult literacy rate? Adult literacy rate refers to the ratio of literate adult population to the adult. See, over here, for example, you have 100 adult. Out of these adult, how many actual people are literate? So that is known as adult literacy. So in case of males, it increase. Females also it increase. Then primary completion rate is basically, sorry, for example, I enrolled myself in a school, right? So for example, 100 people, 100 students enrolled themselves, but the students who completed the education was 20 only. So this is the primary completion rate. How many students are completing, not enrolling but completing, right? Most of the students they drop off and many other things. So it refers to percentage of student completing the last year of primary school. In case of male, it increased from 78 to 93. In case of female, it increased. And now youth literacy rate is like the students, the people who are in between 50 to 20, they are known as youth. And if they know the basic calculation, they know how to read, write the simple sentences of daily life, they are literate. So that is known as youth literacy. In case of male, it will increase. In case of female, it also increase. Okay. And after that, today what we are going to start, we are going to do the inadequacy or the challenges in education field. Okay. So let's just see. So ma'am, what are the challenges basically in education field? So first is high illiteracy rate. So in India, largest number of illiterate in the world, like in the entire world, you will get the most illiterate person in India. As per 2011 census, the literacy rating is 274.04. Nearly 20% of the children in this age group are still not going to schools for obtaining education. So you can see there are high literacy that is affecting the education. Then gender biasness. The enrollment of girls in elementary education is much below than the enrollment of boys according to census 2011. The female literacy rate is nearly 65.46 as compared to male is 82. Right? So gender biasness there. Most of the students, most of the families, they are interested in sending their boys, sending their male child to school, but not to their girl child. Right? The attitude of people still has not changed toward providing education to female population. They still feel like that women are made for housework. They will be becoming housewife. They are not made for office work. We should not educate them. They belong to some other family like this, right? So still because of that there is gender biases, and of course if you have gender biases that only male will be literate, so it will be affecting education ratio. Then lack of vocational courses. See, in school you have only few courses like maths, English, science, like this, right? So education in India still continues to be degree oriented rather than job oriented. Okay, emphasis is only on the education, thus neglecting vocational and technical aspect of education. Right. So basically, what is happening? See, right. For example, in 10th class, you got to know about trigo. Right. Am I asking you to trigo in your daily life? Right? Am I asking the tower is there? What is sine theta? What is cos theta? No, na. So this is lack of vocational training. Schools are not giving you additional trainings, right? They are only just giving you the theoretical knowledge. This is science. This is mitochondria. This is atom. This is molecule. Like this. Okay. So right now, what is happening? Like education policy is being changed. Now you have marketing subjects, right? So that is basically the vocational training. They are training you apart from your theory subjects, right? And then low standard of education. So in India, quality or standard of education is very low, as the syllabi prescribed by the various boards and university does not match the job requirement. So for example, if you want to become an engineer, right? So after 12, can you become engineer? No, you have to do the engineering course, right? After 12, for example, you want to become an architect, you cannot, right? Because according to the job requirement, the syllabus is not like that only, right? So that's a low standard of education. Then insufficient government expenditure. So government, out of 100%, government is spending only 4% on education, which is less than the desired expenditure. So we are expecting that government should do at least 6 to 10%, right? Wait a minute. Huh? Okay. But we were, yeah. So if government spends more on education, a noticeable rate of growth in education and achievement can be made. If government will spend more on education, then of course you can see that people are in education field, you are achieving a good amount. Okay. Then privatization of education. There is a growing tendency toward attaining education in private institutions. See, there are government schools, there are private schools. So if there are two government schools, then in comparison there will be 10 private schools. So though the facilities are better, but it is very expensive, right? Because of heavy expenditure, it goes beyond of many to obtain education in private institutions. So for example, I am poor, I want to send my child to school, right? If I send him to government school, there are no facilities, no proper teaching, nothing. But I cannot afford to send him to private school because they are too expensive. So because of privatization of education, your education sector is also suffering. Then lack of access in rural areas. See, most of the time, for example, this is your home in rural area, this is your school. Schools are too far, right? But there are no transportation facilities, nothing. But in urban area, no matter whether your school is 20 kilometer far or 30 kilometer far, everyone has the transportation facilities, right? So in rural area, there is low access to education facility. There is high degree of disparity in reaching out to the facility of education. The access level to education is very low for the people in rural area as compared to the people in the urban area. Clear? So these are the challenges the education sector is facing in India. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Halima, clear?
Yes.
Okay, so you will write hashtag inadequacies and challenges in education sector, then all the 7 points.
Okay. These census are 2011.
Yes, because last census was done in 2011 itself in India. Though it was to be done in 2021 itself, but due to COVID, it was postponed. So till now, the latest census is 2011.
Okay, 10 years is the latest
Yeah.
census.
Yes. So it was about to happen in 2021, like after 10 years, but due to COVID, it was postponed. So till now, there is no census, nothing. So latest is 2011 only in India.
Okay. So if it happened in 2022, the next census will happen in 32.
Yeah, that will 32.
Okay.
But I don't think 2022 is about to end, right? So till now, no
Yes.
planning, nothing. So maybe in 2023, maybe or 24. So accordingly, if it happens in 23, then in 33, then in 24, then in
And
34. Like
publishing in books also. So
yes,
much
then
so.
yeah. Okay, so you can write it down. Okay.
Can you scroll down to the next point?
Done, mom.
Done, ma'am.
Done. Done, ma'am.
Okay. So now next is, I hope both of you done, right? Halima, you are also done?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just start with the next thing, which is the future prospects of education. So what is the future criteria you are going to follow in India? So first is education for all, still a distant dream. So see, we are planning that we will be giving education to everyone. So though literacy rate for both adult as well as for youth have increased, still the absolute number of illiteracy in India is much as the India's population was at the time of independence. So though literacy rate is increasing, but still you have to do lot many things because illiterate people are many more. Then in 1950, when the Constitution of India was passed by the Constituent Assembly, it was noted that the DSP, these are basically the directive principle, like what you have to do. They tell you about your duties. That the government should provide free and compulsory education for all the children up to the age of 14 years. Okay. So therefore, we cannot be complete about the upward movement in the literacy rate, and we have miles to go achieving a percent of adult literacy rate. See, over here, this is the education for all, right? We already discussed that at the time it was discussed, but now we discuss that it is going up. So it's not like that we should not feel like that, okay, literacy is going up, so we should stop. No, we have miles to achieve, right? So this is the thing. So what you will write, you will from here, you will write till here, then the second point from here to here, and then from therefore till here. Clear? And then gender equality. See, gender equality is very much important. It should not be like you are sending your boys to school but not girls to school. The difference in literacy rate between males and female are narrowing, though they are reducing, and it's a positive development, but still you need to put more focus on educating women. Why? Because if you will improve, if you will educate a women, that they will be economically independent as well as social status of women to save them from the exploitation. See, if a woman is educated, so you cannot exploit her easily. Then women education make a favorable impact on fertility rate and healthcare of the women and the children. So educated woman knows what is the fertility rate and everything, and plus she focus on the healthcare, right, of herself as well. When she is pregnant or something, like the baby also she'll take care of, right? But the woman who is not aware of the healthcare and everything, she is not educated, she don't know how to take care of the things, right? And then higher education. See, most of the students, most of the children, what they do enroll, but they don't take higher education. Okay, there will be most of the children who have done 10th, 12th, not the higher education, the graduation. So the education institution pyramid steep. Steep means like this. So you have more student in the first age group, but not in the higher education, right? Indicating lesser and lesser number of people reaching the higher education level. Moreover, the level of employment among educated youth is highest. As per NSSO data, in the year 2011-12, the rate of unemployment among youth males who studied graduation and above rural areas was 19%, while in urban area it was 16%. Okay, and then the most severe affected ones was the young female graduate, as 30% of them are unemployed. Clear? Therefore, the government should increase expenditure on higher education and also improve the standard of higher education institution, so that students are imparted employed skills in such an institution. So basically, over here we are focusing on higher education, right? After getting higher education, you will get employment. So this is the data that in it is 19 and 16, but for female it is only 30. Out of 100, only 30% girls are taking the things. So what government should do? You will not write this, right? You will write this, that therefore government should increase expenditure on higher education, right? They should provide them good institutions so that students feel like, okay, it is worth it going to these institutions plus taking your higher education. Most of the students think it's not worth it, it's normal, but no, taking higher education is very important in order to get a good job and stable job. So this is what you will write. You will first write hashtag future perspective of education, then education for all, then these 3 points, then gender equality, entire thing, higher education, first point, second point, and the third point. Okay.
Okay. Ma'am, there is not much for health in this chapter.
Yes.
I was saying that there's so much for education and from health there's not many.
Sorry.
In this
Halima,
chapter we're writing this much for education, but not
yes.
for health.
Because in your syllabus, it's only education, not health. Okay. Wait, let me just show you the syllabus.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, we have to only cover. That's a good thing. Now, think if you are writing so much about education, but still after this you have to write about the health, then it will take millions of years to complete the syllabus. See,
But
see,
doing
see.
doctorate degree it's like less than 10 years or something.
Yeah, it's like to because the only thing is you have to write a lot. See over here, see human capital formation. You have to do people human how human become resources. You know human capital formation. Then role of human capital in economic development we already did.
Yes, because
Then
in this
growth
age
of
we need
education sector
education
in
only,
India.
no need to talk much
Yes.
about health.
Yeah, there is nothing, no thing over human capital only. You are discussing health a little bit. That okay, health is important. It's somewhere, but you are only discussing about growth of education sector in India. That's it. Okay.
Okay. Ma'am, can you scroll down? Done, ma'am.
Done?
Yes.
Okay. Now the next is this point. Then
Done.
okay. Now these are the things which you will take screenshot and then you will write. The first is Education Commission. Ma'am, what is this Education Commission? It has recommended that 6% of GDP be spent on education so as to make a noticeable rate of growth in education achievement. Okay, so it was through this Education Commission, it was said that 6% of the GDP you will spend on education. Then there was a Tapas Majumdar committee. He said that that we will be spending 1.37 lakh crore rupees over 10 years for educating 6 to 14 years of students, right? See, for example, if you want to send your child to school, and if you are not rich enough, then of course you will look for the government school. So over there, government decided, this committee was made up, and they thought that they will be, sometimes they ask you in one word that how much money they were planning to spend. So it was 1.37 lakh crore. And what was the time span? It was 10 years from 1998 to 1999 and 2006 to 2007. Okay, clear? Clear?
Yes.